so why was the flag moving if there was zero wind? From a
I don't know, maybe space is just chilly. Very chilly. Reapers, what's this good? It's your boy Laser. He's always in the reaction video. He's in the reaction content. So I continue to do that. He's in the 5 most believed Apollo 11 moon landing conspiracies. Guys, was the moon landing fake? We're not right. Anyway, if you enjoy reaction content, you want more reaction videos like this in the future. It's 11. You subscribe to the notification bell icon. I also stream daily on Twitch. I'll check the music side on platforms. Stuff straight in this video. Number 5.
That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. That's probably one of the most famous words ever spoken. It's what Neil Armstrong said when he first stepped on the moon. But ever since the event, millions of theorists believe the mission didn't even happen and was faked by America in order to beat Russia in the space race. Some say it was filmed in a Hollywood studio, and others say it was staged deep inside Area 51. But here are 5 things many people to this day say prove the moon landing was a complete hoax. The American flag movement. The fact that the flag placed by Neil Armstrong was flapping, as if there was a wind breeze, has led millions of people to claim the entire thing was staged. You see, the only reason we have wind on Earth is due to air, but since there is no air in space, wind cannot be created. There is, however, solar wind that is produced by a stream of plasma released from the upper atmosphere of the sun, but that would not have affected the flag on the moon, so why was the flag moving if there was zero wind? From a
I don't know, maybe space is just chilly. Very chilly.
conspiracy point of view, the reason it was flapping is because it was staged. But from a believer's...
I don't think the moon landing was staged. I mean, like, saying the moon landing was staged is like basically saying the Earth is flat, kind of, you know? Like, I think Neil Armstrong deadass stepped on the moon, you know what I'm saying? No way it was fake. Come on, bro.
Point of view, the flag's movement is because the astronaut just placed it there, and the vibration from when they let go kept it moving. NASA have also come forward and claimed that the flag was stored in a thin tube, and the rippled effect was caused by it being unfurled before being planted. And since there is no resistance on the moon, the flag just weightlessly flapped until the kinetic energy had died off, as opposed to gravity slowing it down like it would have done on Earth.
Ooh, interesting.
Very clear footprints in the moon's surface. Gravity and moisture all help preserve things like footprints here on Earth, but since the moon has nearly zero gravity and a very low moisture content, then how did the footprints leave such a sharp imprint? Theorists believe the landing must have been staged, as there is no scientific way it would be visible. But many experts say that the fact the moon is so dry would have been the very reason for the visual footprints. They say the moon has a flour-like surface of dry lunar dust that would help leave an imprint, and since there is no wind on the moon, the dust would just be left unsettled. This one does sound a little bit iffy, but of course there is no way of knowing for sure what to believe.
Interesting.
No stars. How come there are no visible stars in the background? If you were on the moon, there would be no clouds present, so surely stars would be highly visible, so this must be a black backdrop. This is a question asked frequently by theorists. If Apollo 11 was a hoax, this certainly wouldn't be the piece of evidence to prove it, as unfortunately this does have a scientific explanation, and here's how. The moon landing took place during the lunar mornings, meaning the sun would have been shining brightly, and the sunlight bouncing off the moon's surface into the camera lens would have washed out any light coming from the distance.
The moon is so boring anyways. I mean, I know the idea of just like going on a different planet, well, like just like something in like the solar system, just like stepping on something in the solar system that isn't Earth is cool, but like, what's there interesting about the moon? It's just a bunch of gunpowder everywhere. That was so interesting about that.
Especially tiny stars. NASA say when you're on the moon you have to block the landscape from your vision to see any notable stars. It is the same concept as the stars not being as visible in a big city as opposed to the countryside. It's because the light from the city is washing out the stars. So this one can be ruled out, but if there were stars visible in the moon landing photos, then this would have been much more of a reason to doubt the mission.
Interesting.
Neil Armstrong was in on it all. Neil Armstrong, who sadly died in 2012 at age 82,
He died that long ago? I swear this motherfucker died in like 2016. He died in 2012?
few interviews after his 1969 moon landing, and the fact that Neil seemed to avoid talk about the moon landing caused theorists to conclude he was of course lying and finding it hard to keep the truth from the public eye. This mainly arose after his interviews were examined and showed what people say clear signs of lying, and he seems very uncomfortable when asked questions about the Apollo mission. That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. When asked about that quote, he said he hadn't planned it, and it just came out after he touched down on the moon. But
rest in peace, Neil Armstrong, the best basketball astronaut of all time. You know, this guy played in the NBA. Best basketball player of all time. Nah, but rest in peace, bro. Bro, I would... Being an astronaut, oh man, imagine making a living as an astronaut. Damn.
So long after his death, his brother announced that it wasn't entirely off the bat, and that Neil had pitched in the line before he left for the mission. Does this prove the moon landing was a hoax? Of course not, but it would be good to know why Neil did lie to the public about the famous words. Here is a fun fact about Neil. In May 2005, Armstrong became involved in a bizarre legal battle with his long friend and barber.
Seems like they're about to just fall out of his mouth.
20 years, Mark 𝐂𝐳𝐫𝐵. After cutting Armstrong's hair, 𝐂𝐳𝐫𝐵 sold some of it to a collector for $3,000 without Armstrong's knowledge or permission. The crosshairs. The theory? In several NASA photos, it's apparent that crosshair markings from the camera lens are imprinted behind some objects, a result from editing and tampering with the images by adding objects into the staged photographs. From a conspiracy point of view, pictures were taken of the fake moon landing, which included the crosshairs from the camera. Several objects, like the moon buggy you can see here, were then photoshopped in after to...
I don't know, let's just ask Neil Armstrong. Okay, that's fucked, but, nah, come on, bro, the moon landing wasn't fake. Why would you fake a moon landing? I don't know, maybe because they had, like, other attempts to get to space and they, like, blew up, you know, that one Apollo crew or whatever the fuck. Was it 12? I don't fucking remember. But, like, yeah. And that's another thing. Like, I'm not going to be one of those people that do those test things. Like, you know, for example, like, you know, you see what these, like, these billionaire, like, publicity, I wouldn't say publicity, these billionaire things they do. Like, sending people to fucking, you know, the submarines, all that bullshit. Like, I know apparently, didn't they say they were going to do something? I remember seeing this Instagram post years ago about how they're going to, like, there's, like, this billionaire thing where you can eat in space. I don't fucking know. Something like that. I don't fucking
create a more realistic image, hence the reason the objects are in front of the crosshairs. It sounds somewhat believable, but there is also a very good reason this could have happened that cannot be overlooked. The reason is due to overexposure, meaning anything would be blurred out and unseen. It's a similar concept to the stars not being visible, like I said in Theory 3. Here is an example of an overexposed image. You can see the crosshairs are visible in all areas apart from the overexposed bright white star. But again, there are arguments on both sides. But the biggest question is though, do you think America put the first man on the moon? Thanks for watching, see you in the next video, and feel...
Well guys, if it was a video, I hope you enjoyed it. Which one of those Apollo moon landing conspiracies was the most interesting? You enjoyed reaction content. Use more reaction videos like this feature to do. See you next one. Peace!